Hello, my name is Haley Hopkins. I am an English teacher at Santa Paula High School. The purpose of this video is to discuss the dispositions from the Disposition Self-Assessment Survey under topic 4. And I'd like to start first with the dispositions I possess that currently make me a successful teacher. So I narrowed it down to two I felt really fit me. And the first one is educators should demonstrate professional warmth, friendliness, and genuine caring in their relationships with others while providing intellectual, emotional, and spiritual support. Students need to feel respected, connected, and cared about. If teachers expect them to participate and be invested in their classes. The second is educators should be sensitive to individual learning and social needs of students and embrace the cultural diversity of the community. In our community, many LGBT students feel excluded or outcast. My classroom is typically a place where during lunch or after school in multiple clubs, students can come to gather, to talk to each other, and to participate in different clubs. I'm the advisor for a feminist book club, as well as a Dungeons and Dragons club for some of the students who are a little bit more nerdy and don't quite fit in with the rest of our school culture. So I try my best to provide a safe haven for students who otherwise don't feel accepted at our school. These are a couple of dispositions I feel I could work on in the future. One is teachers understand the effect of community involvement and servant leadership as it applies to the welfare of others in the educational setting. I really focused on the phrase community involvement. Many of the families in Santa Paula, especially parents, speak Spanish only, and this tends to be a barrier for me since I don't speak Spanish. Culturally, there are some differences as well between myself and the cultures of my students. In the past, that's been intimidating. Now that I've gotten to know my students a little bit more and we've been able to share our different cultures with each other, I feel that I'm ready to take that next step and make sure parents feel involved in what their child is learning. So I think bridging the gap between what students are learning in class and how it connects to their community as well as their families is really important. Second, educators should recognize that reflection combined with experience leads to growth as a professional. I do this already, but as a somewhat new teacher, this is my 4th year, and one of those years was in COVID. I don't feel I really put enough time into the reflection piece. When you're a new educator, you're often in panic mode or survival mode, and you're just trying to get through your day or your week or your month. So I think investing more time in reflecting on best practices would be good for me to do in the future. Also, last, educators should promote social justice and equity, maintain appropriate standards of confidentiality, and exercise fairness in all areas, including assessment. I do feel that I already meet this, but the key term for me here is social justice. I know that on our school campus, we have a social justice professional advocate who leads community circles for students. And in some case, that can take the place of a punishment or other disciplinary action. So I would like to know more about that. I would like to know how it functions and how I could best utilize it for my students as well. So I just need to research that resource on campus a little bit more. And then finally, just in general, what does an educator look like and how do they behave? So I feel that presentation is important. First impressions do leave lasting impacts. So teachers should be clean, put together, professional at all times. They're the authority figure in the room, and they represent the school to the community. So they should look the part. That also means they need to act the part. So that means speaking respectfully and diplomatically, even if it's a frustrating situation or there's some kind of conflict. Teachers need to approach those situations professionally. They need to be aware that all eyes are on them. And again, they represent their school and their community. They also need to be kind and empathetic and reflective. Admit when they make mistakes. Assume good intentions of their students and of the parents of their students. And then also a couple standards or a couple key takeaways that I personally believe students are tremendously impacted by their teachers. our expectations of our students leave an impact on our students. They're not going to feel that they are capable if we don't believe they're capable. So we need to make sure that we encourage them, and that we communicate we believe it's possible for them to succeed. And we also must serve as role models. And that means professionally that we demonstrate the kind of behavior and language that we expect students to also demonstrate. And then, of course, finally, as I've said a couple times already, we represent our school, we represent our community. We need to show pride in that. And so, of course, that means we need to act professionally at all times.